Barilla sugo with pesto. It's
Yeah,
like,
it
how would you?
our life.
It saved our life.
Yes,
But
yes, we will do it.
since you're from Genoa, how would you rate it from 1 to 10? The
pesto.
the Barilla pesto.
One.
Minus 15.
So
Nothing
good.
against Barilla. It's
I was expecting a 5.
It's
Yeah.
a great company, but no, it's just no. Forget it. Just
Like
it's
for me,
nothing.
so good.
How we like to our guests to introduce themselves is like to reply or answer to a very simple question. It's like, who are you today? So we start with Marco.
Okay.
Who are you today?
I'm Marco Arvigo. I'm a father of 3 kids and a husband of Elisabetta, and I'm living and working in Luxembourg.
And you, Elisabetta, who are you today?
I'm Elisabetta. I am a mother of 3 children. I am a woman living in Luxembourg, married with Marco, and I'm Italian.
Okay. Yeah.
See, it's funny to see how like people reply each time, because some are really business focused, so they say, I work here, I work there, blah blah blah.
For them, it's really important the status of your job and your position. But,
I am not status, so it's easy for me.
your mother's
Easier.
status.
Yes, I
it's a
mean,
beautiful one.
Working speaking.
Okay, so how do you want to go on? Like,
yeah, we can start. Like, we have invited you today because we know Ludovica, your daughter, and once I was talking to her and she told me no, I'm Italian, my parents are Italian. I was born in France, then I moved there and there and there. I was like, okay, there is something behind. So I said, okay, if you had such great experiences, for sure, your parents had really an incredible life. If you had the opportunity to travel that much, so that's why we want to speak with you guys, and we would like to start from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So you told me that you studied in Italy. Yep. You're a chemical engineer, right?
Yes.
And you studied in Genoa.
In Genoa, yes.
And then later you moved in Turin.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but you moved in Turin, why?
Because of her. Because of Elisabetta. It's a love story.
Okay, but how you two met?
We met during the winter holidays in Trentino Alto Adige.
Mm-hmm.
So it was during what we call the White Week, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Skiing week. And by chance we met because I'm from Genoa and Elisabetta is from Turin.
Okay.
And by chance we met.
But how come you followed her and it was not the other way around?
Because I'm older and I was the first finishing university. So that's why I found a job before Elisabetta because she was studying, still studying at the time. So, and anyway, I wanted to leave Genoa.
Okay.
It's a wonderful city. Probably the most beautiful city on earth, but I wanted to move away.
Okay.
And that's because even when I was very young, I wanted to travel. And,
Okay.
That's the reason. So, and after university, I found the first job in Rome.
Okay.
And then it was very far from Turin. So, and then I had the chance to find this job in Turin.
Okay. And what you were studying at the time?
I was studying pedagogy.
Okay.
Okay, in Turin, in my town.
Okay. And when you finish your study, you were you were already living in Turin,
Yeah.
Yes.
and you're already projecting your life abroad, or you wanted to, let's say, to settle down in Turin.
No, abroad.
Abroad.
Abroad, yes.
And then you start to, after Rome, You went to Turin and you start to work there.
Yep.
For how many years, more or less?
So I 92 up to 97. Yes, 5 years and a half, more or less.
Okay, and later you moved in
Paris.
In Paris.
We moved to France, to Paris.
So, okay, how's France, guys? It's good to live there?
Was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
One answer first.
I don't know.
What did you
was
like?
great.
What did you like, and what do you dislike about it?
About France, about Paris.
Paris, I would
about-
say. Paris, I would say, is different from the rest of
From the
France,
rest of
right?
France,
But
yeah.
that's also how like a French would introduce him or herself. Is like if he or she comes from Paris, they say I'm from Paris. They
right.
don't say
Yeah.
I'm from France, right?
We knew. It's right, exactly.
But yeah, I never lived there, so how was it?
It was great. It was our first moving, so for me especially, it was the first time that I live in my town and my country, and with him and with my first son. So it was a very nice period of my life because we stayed a lot. We used to stay a lot in family,
Okay.
and so it was a good period, really a good period. We were far, but not so far from our country, so relatives, friends, and
Okay.
yeah.
But actually, something that I was wondering, like even before going to France, what is the thought process you had? Like, why you wanted to move out of Italy, right? Because at the end, we collect like stories from expats, but like, what is the reason that pushed you?
Well, I can't say anything rational. It was like my guts that told me that I had to move. I had a couple of experience when I was a student. I went to UK for study English.
Okay.
And so meeting people coming from everywhere in Europe was great. And again, I don't know, but when you live in Italy, especially in a small town like Genoa, because it's still a small town, you turn around. You always meet all the same people, and even had experience in school scout and sport, and it's always the same story. So I don't know, something in my guts told me, move, go abroad, discover different things. So it wasn't rational. It wasn't because about career. Of course, moving helps a lot your career, but it's more a consequence rather than the lead, the drive. And so I don't know. It's just like a Christopher or Colombo. You want to discover new things. And okay, Paris is not that exotic, but it was the first possibility they offered to me, and I got it.
And you ever thought like, okay, they want me to move? No, I'm just gonna change job and stay in Italy.
No way. I was waiting for
for this
for a
opportunity.
long time. Yes, because I worked for 5 years in Turin. Yes, and I remember I was waiting the first opportunity to move. So yeah.
And what is like the okay? They offered you a job in France, and what is the discussion between like husband and wife? That is like, okay, they offer me a job. What do you think? You had a baby at the time, right?
Yes, we had
First
the
one.
first
Yes.
kid, Filippo. Yeah.
Okay.
And discussion, I don't remember well, but it was kind of a pre-discussion. Like we always said, okay, we want to move, we want to live, have an
He
experience.
always say.
Okay.
So
I knew.
so it was
I was
out,
prepared.
Okay.
it was
Told
not
me at the beginning, from the beginning. So
yeah, so it was clear. It was not
It was
out of the
clear,
blue,
yeah.
right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
It
told me
was
this.
clear.
So it was a long process, and then the opportunity came, and I think that the opportunity came because I wanted it. So it's
yes,
things happen because you want it somehow.
Okay.
So
sometimes.
Yeah.
positive things, I would say it this way.
And
Negative
Maybe
things,
also negative things,
but anyway.
maybe.
So I was open to this, and it was the right time, the right place, because at the time the group where I used to work wanted to open to international career,
Okay.
And I grabbed this opportunity.
Yeah, that's good. But is it hard to move with a small baby in another country? No.
No, small baby. No,
Small baby.
very easy because the small baby, it doesn't care. I mean, the moment he's with mom and dad, it's okay. So there's no school, there's no, no, it's very easy. And
No friends.
no friends, no, no, it's okay. It's way easier that when you move with, teenagers or even,
Also kids that
yeah,
are
the primary school. Yes,
at the
no, a
primary
baby.
school already.
And then again, it's in France, so and it's not,
And the
Africa.
state like helps you like with the babies and everything. I don't know. They support. I don't know, with the incentives.
France?
Yeah, in France. I don't know.
Like a financial aid.
Yeah, financially.
What I don't understand.
Because I know here in Luxembourg, like if you have a baby, you get like support.
Oh,
if
yes.
you need to-
France.
Compared
France.
to
yeah.
Italy, yes.
Oh, I guess compared to
Yeah.
Italy.
Yes,
Allocation familiale. Yes,
okay.
sure.
Absolutely.
It was compared to Italy. It's another word.
Yeah.
And it's big money, actually, you get from the state, and it's not only the money you get from government, but also you pay less taxes. So actually, if you have in France or even here in Luxembourg, if you have 3 kids, basically you don't pay taxes, more or less. So it's
Anyway, we discovered it.
yeah, I didn't know, but
Later,
again,
we
it
didn't
was
know before,
it wasn't the
so-
drive to move.
No.
That's why, by the way, one of the reasons France have more kids than we have in Italy.
Okay. Well, yeah. And what was like the first impact when you moved there?
Well, the first impact when I moved there probably will have a different impact. My first is, well, I landed in France. I remember it was in December. First period I was in a kind of residence. So it was a bit difficult to get into the French system because, again, it's Paris, it's not France, and compared to Genoa or Turin, it was a huge city, and it takes time to get into their mentality. Everything went faster than we, but somehow more in a more effective way. So the first impact is Paris people, they don't care about you. You're like, a tourist. And especially if you have an Italian accent at the beginning, it's a tourist, a spaghetti, or rital, as they say.
Which means?
Rital, it's a, I don't know how to say in English. It's like crucco
Okay.
for German
Okay.
people. Okay, and so
Not a very kind.
no, it's not
Okay,
very kind
okay,
of way.
okay, yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
Usual number.
So and then
Immigrants,
you have to
Italian
get
immigrants.
into the system. So you have to open a bank account. You have to find an apartment. And I remember this kind of headache because if you want to rent an apartment, you need a bank account. But if you want to open a bank account, you need an address. And I was turning around.
It's a loop.
It's a loop.
It's a loop.
And then at the time there was still the carte de séjour. So the
Okay.
and I remember I visited several prefectures in Paris, and I was treated like really a migrant coming. So at the beginning, I said, "I'm not." You don't feel welcome,
Okay.
but it was my first expatriation. So. But it was part of the process. So I learned a lot of things. And I remember when I spoke with my bosses and the HR people, they say, okay, of course we could help you, but now it's a learning process. So now you got it. So now we know that you're good. So it was really, they told me like this. And
But how old were you at the time?
I was 32.
32?
32, yeah.
29.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
30,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
30.
31,
30-ish.
29, yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
around
And
30.
Filippo was 18 months old. 1 year and a half.
Yeah.
1 year and a half.
Okay. So this was my personal first impact. And professionally, it was good. Was very welcome and no problem with this.
And how was your routine? Like let's take how was a weekend like in Paris? Because during the week, I guess it's like work.
The week
so.
is it's the French, they say dodo métro boulot.
Okay.
It's dodo,
It's like
sleeping.
sleeping.
Métro is
It's the tube,
underground,
underground.
and boulot is working. So dodo métro boulot, dodo métro boulot. This is but it's not like everywhere. And the weekend is good because Paris, wonderful
Paris
city.
is wonderful.
You-
You have a lot of museum, a
Yes.
lot of.
You can spend a month visiting Paris.
And
And
it's very easy with the children, with the child.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
it's easy to move in Paris with the
Poussette.
Lando,
Cart,
Lachelle.
no?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
Passeggino. the
Passeggino,
bus.
so-
Yes.
okay. Passeggino.
And no, it's very easy because public transportation works very, very well. And the surrounding of Paris are wonderful. I mean, you can really visit for months and you don't need to travel a lot. And then, of course, we also had the opportunity to visit France, and which is a wonderful country, totally different from Paris. And no, it was great. Great time. And we were young, so everything was easy.
And at beginning, you had like some friends there, or like it's hard or it's easy to, let's say, to fit into the French society, or like Paris
It's not
society.
easy. Honestly, it's not easy. No.
And what
If
is like
you
the
don't
challenge?
work- if you don't work, how can
I
you
can meet people, right?
You have to do some activities, and we start to have friends but from your work.
Yeah, but not that much.
Not that much. Some colleagues, and but we started when Filippo
Went to school,
went to school. Yes.
kindergarten.
Okay.
Kindergarten. So
So you meet other parents?
I met other parents, women, and so we got friends from by our
Yeah.
child.
But were they like? I mean, was it really international or mostly? I mean, I guess mostly French,
So
right?
international.
French.
Okay, mostly French.
French.
And you
He went in a French school,
Yeah.
French kindergarten. So
Okay.
we only had French friends.
So yeah, I was saying because I don't know, like here in Luxembourg, right? I feel like with the Southern Europeans, it's easier to connect, right? With maybe Germans or French. I don't know. It's a little bit more difficult. But they're mostly French, right? So
They're mostly yes, they are mostly. They were mostly French because we live in a in the area just on the east of Paris, Vincennes, and it was really French
Okay.
prison. So and of course there are a lot of international people in Paris, but because we had a family life, it's not like you know, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
And when you have a kid or you have children, life is a bit different. So you don't party that much. The nightlife is less, let's say, exciting.
On the sofa.
And on the sofa, with your
Playing with small pieces of wood.
then you meet other families with other kids. So, and that's a point of connection. And it's a bit different. So the Parisian people, yes, they are not like in Italy. They're not that welcoming. But once you get, it's okay. And we still have some relationship with those people. It's okay. They are good friends. They are probably not the friends of your life, but they were good people, and they helped us. No, it was okay. So yes, it's difficult for sure. But at the beginning, I remember we were on our own, but it was okay because you're in Paris. So there are so many things to see, to visit, and you can really enjoy the city. It's okay.
We were tourists for 3 years.
Yeah, basically.
But how many years you stayed in Paris?
3 years and a half,
and a
more
half.
or less. Yeah.
And then you moved back to Italy?
Back to Turin.
Yes, we moved back to Turin because I was supposed to have a job in France with the same company. They said, no, you go back to Italy where you started as plant manager.
Okay.
And they said, well, okay, you never say no to this proposal. So we went back to Turin, which was good because, by the way, we have family in Turin because her parents and her brother, they are in Turin. We're in Turin. And
how is like you were an expat and then you become like an repat? That how was like the okay for your job? I think was great because you had like a promotion. You went back to Italy and even if you want to travel around, I think that is still like good to go back to your roots. Let's say in Italy. But how was the feeling at that time? Like you wanted to go back, you preferred to stay in France. And I think you also had like another kid.
Yes.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Ludovica was born in Paris in 2000. Yeah. So if I had to choose, I wouldn't have moved back to Italy.
Okay.
So because I didn't. It's not because I don't like Italy, but because I was already out of Italy. So, but they said, okay, you go to Italy, and the promotion was good. So say, okay, let's do it. And well, the feeling when you go back to Italy is, I can't say how to describe it. It's you feel a bit, different because the time doesn't go in the same, not the same direction, but the same speed. And especially if you go back to your hometown and you find your friends, it's a bit different. So you feel, I don't know, it's a weird feeling. You feel you don't belong anymore to this, but you belong to something else, but you don't know what.
Yeah, like sometimes we talk about this also in our like let's say small experiences compared to you. Like when we go back to our cities, it's just like you don't feel that you belong there anymore. And also, like from my perspective, it's like when you go there, the time has never passed.
Yes.
It's like always
Exactly.
the same.
Okay. Yes.
Exactly.
This is what I want to say.
It's that feeling.
Yes.
No, it's just like okay, you go back and see the same things. Things
people
are the same.
there. They are
doing the
things
same
like,
things.
Yes.
like
Saying the same things, doing the same thing. Yes, right. That's the exactly the feeling. It looks
because you got some experiences that you cannot share with them.
Yeah.
So
It's like for me there is nothing bad because like it's life. Everyone let's say choose his own path to follow. But it's weird when you go back and you would like to say like so many things. Yes. But sometimes when I talk with my friends, like they are my friends and they will always be my friends. But it's like they do not understand me,
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's exactly this. It's like
you can understand them, but they don't.
No, because so I don't know. It's good, It's a weird feeling, but that's why when when I go back after a couple of weeks, we say, okay, no,
that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Let's go somewhere because
also your life. I can say my life is when my home is. And my family is. So at that moment, I know that my life was in Paris. So every time I came back visiting my parents or friends or for the holidays, for example, that I felt like I wanted to go back, but to another back. I don't know if it's clear or not.
Yeah, like. I don't know in this case how to say it. Like
also
I got
now my life is here here now in Luxembourg. So it's not in Italy anymore. I don't know. It's strange. My house is here.
Yeah.
My family is here and.
Yeah, but I think you start to become like a real expat when you say, "Okay, I have to go home," but where?
Where?
Yeah,
it's
yes,
like
yes.
That's why we say I go back to Italy. I'm not saying I go home because my home is
here.
Yeah. So, but as you said, it's difficult to share your feelings and your experiences, because when you talk with the people, they normally ask you, so how is living in Luxembourg like? Say, how can you explain this? It's or Shanghai or Paris. You can't explain because you don't live there. You can give some example. You say, okay, yes, gas is cheaper. Okay, so what? Or food is not that good as in Italy. Okay, but the feeling you have, you can't share, and that's and it's strange because when you meet other people that had expat experience,
in that way,
and then you can share your feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wherever they have been, there is something common that then you understand each other.
Yeah, it's like when you meet someone, I don't know, when we go somewhere, you said, okay, he's from Italy, so I don't know, what was the problem that when you went like in this country, maybe you couldn't pay the rent, maybe it was really hard to find a house, it was really hard to find a job, you didn't know the language, so you at the beginning you just hang out with Italians in this case, and they really like you start to bond with them, like and when you talk with someone that never left his own city, okay, still it will be your friend or your wife, your girlfriend, something, but they will never understand your feeling about being outside of your country, living alone, like
and many people they just ask, why are you doing this? You were not good in Italy. I mean, yes, I was, but it's and there is another thing about the French experience I remember well, and it was about my job, my work, and I remember because at the beginning, yes, I spoke French, but with a strong Italian accent, and then I cleaned up my French, and I can speak French like French, so with no accent. And I remember that at that moment, the people started to consider me differently. One of them, when I was doing presentations or something like a speech, they said, "Wow, so he's not anymore a Vital. He's
becoming a Parisian."
Yes, and this is very, for French people, very important because French is the most beautiful language for them, of course, and they have the most beautiful culture and the most beautiful everything. So, best food, best wine, best everything. So
like people from Genoa.
But in Genoa, this is
the
true.
most beautiful city in the world, right?
But in Genoa, it's true. That's different.
But this is something I think it's common. I mean, for every country, because I remember vividly when I was in Japan. So all the way to Asia, and I mean, there were the Japanese when they were seeing like an Italian or a Western, let's say, person speaking the language, they were like, "Whoa," because if he or she like really committed to learn the language, it's like sort of respect, and because they want to mingle with those people with that let's call it, I don't know, culture or whatever you want to call it. So I think speaking their language is like a game changer for them. They start seeing you in a different way. But here in Luxembourg is a bit different because it's
it's like the only thing about Luxembourg is like there are many people living here, but no one speaks Luxembourgish. That's a pity because like you should learn the language. Like here,
we would like.
We're thinking about this also to get the passport. And also to go to the boulanger and speak a little bit Luxembourgish, but we can sing a couple of songs in Luxembourgish.
Really? But you don't speak Luxembourgish.
No, but we can sing the Christmas song and the national anthem, and because we used to do this with the choir, so it's
okay. I just don't know how to say moyen.
Moyen, okay.
That's
Adi
my
and
Luxembourg.
merci, and that's it.
Yeah, okay. Merci is more international. Also. Merci is like thanks in Luxembourgish, in French, also in Romanian.
Turkish also.
Yeah.
Wow. Turkish, they say merci.
Merci, yeah.
So they also teşekkürler.
That one I don't know.
I've just been in Turkish. I know it.
No, because my manager, she's Turkish, so she told me.
Maybe the upper class, maybe they say this.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. But actually, something that I was wondering, and also, I mean, at some point I will have to think about it. But like, how is it like, growing a child abroad? So without the supports of your parents, like,
Yeah.
have you ever like discussed like on this, or because I don't know if I think that I don't know, my kid one day he will never have the experience to have a nonna, right, a grandma, or a granddad. So I don't know. Is it something that I ever
I let
have you ever?
Elisabetta answer to this, maybe.
It's
Why?
like for your first son, you were in Italy.
Yeah.
So you had like the support of your
Yes,
families.
Yes, yes.
Then with Ludovica,
Yes, I was in Paris.
you were
And
exactly.
for Federico, again, I was in Italy.
Okay.
But the
And what
problem
was the toughest
for
one?
for me, the problem didn't. It was not about the support.
Okay.
I didn't care about that because maybe because I didn't work at the time, so
So you were like a full-time
it was
mother.
easier, yes, and I had the support from Marco as well. So it was not that the problem, this one,
Okay.
but I was quite how can I say,
Concerned.
yes, concerned. No, I mean. How do you say preoccupata?
Worried.
Worried.
Sorry, I was worried about my children that couldn't have the proximity of the families, and also about my family and his family, because also for i nonni, so grandparents.
Sometimes
I
they
think
were
that they
visiting you in
Yes.
Paris.
When you live in Paris, many people
many
visit.
people visit.
Yeah, it's
Of
like
course.
free hotel, you know.
Yeah, of course. But you cannot have a daily life with them. So I was worried about that, and that this is the reason because I was quite happy to come back to Italy after Paris, after our time in Paris, because of that. So I knew that my children could have also families and in an Italian culture, so go to Italian school. It was important for me,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to explain, but I have some roots in Italy. It was important for me because if you live with children always, all your life, or your family life abroad, I think that your children miss a lot about your country and
Yeah.
relatives and family.
But they speak in Italian between them, or like in
Yes,
French?
of course. Between them,
Yeah.
they speak Italian now. When we were in China, and they went to school, so in English school, they spoke. At the moment, they started to spoke in
Both.
speaking English.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
both Italian and English, but
In fact, like
also
when
English.
Ludovica speaks, the accent is like
yes, of course,
perfect.
she's English.
British
yeah,
accent.
of course.
But Filippo spoke French because he went to the French school, the French
Kindergarten.
école maternelle, right?
Yep, because he is
So-
the first one.
Yes,
And it was fun because he spoke French and he had French friends, and when we had visitors, or when we went to Italy, everybody asked Filippo, "Oh, please speak French," and
Say something in
say
French
something in
for
French.
us.
He never did.
Never.
And said, "Why, Filippo, you could speak French?" No, because anyway, they are not going to understand me. So why? He was 5 years old. So why should I speak in French? Because anyway, they won't understand me. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
smart guy.
He was but yes, he was able to
to switch.
Switch. Yeah, good. So,
languages.
so when you came back in Italy, you were like a bit happy about that for the families.
Maybe happy is not a right word, but
Was pleasant for you.
yes, it was. I was more sure, more comfortable.
Sollevato. I don't know.
Yes, more comfortable
Safe.
about that. Yes, that feeling.
Okay.
Kind of feeling. Yeah.
And for how many years you stay?
5 years.
5 years.
But you went back to work in the same place where you were before?
Yes,
Okay, but with a different role.
as plant manager.
Plant manager. Okay. So you're like your career had like a boost. You were working a lot. How was your life back in
Yes,
Italy?
well, when you're a plant manager, you work a lot, and it's 24/7, and especially at the time because we really made a lot of changes in this plant, a lot of investment. So it was a great period. Yes, hard working. And by the time we also had the third child, so Federico, that was born in 2002.
Okay.
So but it was, anyway, I was 35. When you are 35, everything is easy. I mean, when you live it, maybe you say, oh, it's hard. But then when you look back, you say, it was easy. So, you have a lot of energy, a lot of, willingness. No, it was a nice period. We had a wonderful house in Turin, and we had friends and family, and we still had our friends in France. So it was great. No, I say we didn't travel a lot at the time.
But maybe the feeling was the same that we were
Same before.
Yes, because you feel like that. Something you lose something.
Okay.
But we knew it was temporary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was temporary, and by chance they sent me back to Italy. But we knew it was just transition time to something new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I think you enjoy it even more when you know that it's just
Yes.
Yeah. Well.
And then after Italy.
And then after Italy in 2006. During the end of year performance review, I asked to go to the US because I wanted to have an experience in the US. So they sent me to China.
Totally makes sense, right?
So I remember by the way, it was a difficult period because Elisabetta's dad passed away at the end of 2005.
Okay.
All of a sudden, it's with no diseases, just overnight. So it was a bad period. But at the same time, I remember I went to Paris to meet the HR, big boss, and say, "Okay, Marco, so we are thinking about you to get the important role in China." And say, okay, and Shanghai. And I remember I didn't know where Shanghai was. I went to on the internet, say, okay, Shanghai's on the seaside. Say, what, great, seaside.
Like Genova.
It's like Genova. But then I remember I quickly realized it's not like the Mediterranean Sea. Anyway, so and when I remember. I don't remember exactly when and how. Maybe we went to restaurant.
Yes, I think so.
And
yes.
Elisabetta, I have to say you something.
Do you remember that thing about US?
Yes. Well, we're going to China.
Because we knew that we were moving, but we didn't know it was to the west, to the east.
Yeah.
And so what was your reaction?
I wasn't very happy.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared at all to go so far away in so a different country.
Yeah. Because today we know a bit about China, but at the time was okay.
China.
Was
China.
2006, right?
2006, yes.
Yeah. And how
we never think about you leave and I stay.
Never.
With the family. Never. Never.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
it was a family decision.
Yeah.
Family, a couple decision.
Yes.
Of course, children were. Oh, Filippo was already 10, almost. Federico was 6, and Federico was like 4. So anyway, we told them.
Still manageable.
Still manageable.
Limit.
Okay.
It was not easy.
Filippo was already
Also
in
for
primary
them.
school. So anyway, so the decision was made. I remember we went to make a, I don't know how to say in English, the voyage de reconnaissance. I don't know how to say in English.
I don't know
The
what does it
company
mean.
paid us a week
To visit, just
Just to visit
to
the country.
Okay.
before
before moving
before
there.
signing.
Even
it-
deciding.
It's
okay.
like scouting, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind
And
of.
we went to Shanghai. It was first week of January,
Yeah.
and
January.
I remember it was what's that? I mean, it's
We never see the sun.
never, and because the sky is always like
Was
this,
Cloudy.
cloudy, and so
foggy.
crowded,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
busy, so different. And I remember we were in a hotel room, and I was saying, but are we really doing this? And because the city is awful. I mean, it's and the Chinese cities, the first sight is really wow. It's ugly. It's not like here. It's not there is nothing. I mean, it's just concrete buildings,
yeah.
roads. A lot of people.
Bikes,
And
bikes,
yes, cars. Say, are we doing this with our family? Are we bringing our children here? And I remember that moment. There was say, am I doing this? How can I, And I remember you said, yes, of course we're doing this.
Oh,
Yeah.
you changed your mind.
Yes, I didn't change. I knew maybe that I could manage it. I don't know. It's a feeling. It's a kind of intuition.
Okay. And did you know already how long you would have stayed there, or?
No.
Okay. And how did you tell your kids, like?
We're going to China.
Okay, easy. Simple as that, right?
Yeah.
And say, where is
Pack
China?
your stuff. And
It's nice. You
Yes,
will
yes.
have this and this.
Yes.
And what they're like?
Travel a lot and make new friends.
But they didn't realize exactly what I mean, because they were
That's the
kids. So
problem.
and then of course when we told our families, they said, "Oh, so where are you going? Oh, we're going to China." And
Nobody told us that. Wow, good.
and friends,
Nobody.
are you really going to China? I mean,
Yeah.
it was like,
Yes.
are you going to Mars or
We
the
didn't.
moon?
We didn't
or-
have any support. I think.
No, not really. Not great.
No.
Okay, do
No.
it. It's no. So
China so far away.
yeah, but like, what
away
is the let's say, you said like, okay, we're going to China. So at the beginning was not that good. The first impact was not the best in the world. Let's say that.
No.
And so, why you have done it? Like, it was more for your career. So like, okay, I'm gonna grow there. I'm gonna be maybe in the CEO in 10 years. I don't know. What have you thought? Like, okay, let's do this.
Maybe a kind of curiosity.
curiosity. Yes, and the discovering spirit. It's in China. It's it's so far away. It's so different. Let's do it. I mean, it's it's a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
You can't get this while not living all the time in the same country with some. And after 5 years in Italy, okay, it's okay, but it's time to change. And and then of course I left earlier because I left in April.
Okay.
And they came then later in July. So I
Okay.
had some
In
back and
August.
forth
In
in August, some back and forth because of the school, of course. And meanwhile, so I found a house in Shanghai. And anyway, when you live in Shanghai as an expat of a big company, it's a kind of privileged life.
Yes.
Because you have driver, you have the mates, and it's you live in a compound. Your kids they go to international school. It's totally different life that you can have.
And from your, let's say, I'm curious about the work side. You worked like in Italy, in France, then you went to work in China.
Yeah.
How was like the relation with let's say your coworkers?
Well,
I think there are differences, right, between the countries.
totally different. It's a
Totally.
totally different culture. Well, somehow, and I start from the common points. Chinese and Italian people, we have a lot of common points in common.
Okay, that's
Like
interesting.
family, the family is most important thing in China. Food is so important as it is in Italy, and they speak about food like we speak about food all the time. So it's really
but they have noodles, we have spaghetti.
yes, but because China is that big, they have regional food, and what you eat in Shanghai is nothing to do with what you eat in Beijing. So the only thing in common is the rice, mi fan. That's the only thing. That's a totally different food. And what you eat in the south, in Guangzhou, no, it's a. Then the guanxi is the network, the relationship, like in Italy. So relationship are very important, extremely important. And then they are very kind people. I mean, they are very welcoming, and they always smile. And they really like Western people. If you treat them kindly, they're very kind. I mean, it's so those are the points we have in common. Then, of course, it's different culture. They never say yes or no, so it's different unless you are face to face. When you are in a meeting, nobody speaks. Nobody. No, they speak. They don't speak their mind out.
Position.
They don't take any position. You don't know what they think. So is it good or is it bad? Their sense of humor is totally different. So when you say a joke, they don't laugh because they understand.
I think this is one of our problems.
Jokes.
Yeah.
And their jokes.
When you are Italian,
it's like when you start to talk with someone, you do a joke, then you expect. They just look at you. I didn't get it. I was like,
yes, but somehow the sense of humor can be but and of course they are really the authority, the boss. It's this extremely important. So the hierarchy. And it's not easy, and but it's an experience I really recommend to everybody to spend some time in Asia and in China, because you learn a lot of things. And you learn a lot of things about China, because when you go back to Europe and you hear people speaking about China, they know nothing about China because they've never been there, and it's just a lot of stereotypes and which are not true. No, it's difficult, but it's.
But I'm really curious about China. Like, I totally agree with you. I've been like in Beijing, and for me, it was the best experience ever. Yeah. Like for me, like walking on the Great Wall is something, like incredible.
But we have to say that we in China we stayed with the expat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost every time.
French expats, basically, because
French
of
expat. But anyway, you can stay with every expat.
So like it's hard.
It's hard
to.
Yes, it's
integrate.
To have
to get to know Chinese,
integration with the
Chinese people. Yes, we had maybe only once with one colleague of mine, but at the very end of our experience, and it's difficult. Yes, for sure, because the distance. I mean, it's so big, and cultural distance, and also because when you are expat in China, expat as we were. You live in a kind of bubble, okay? You live in a compound, nice house, again, drive, and so, and the money makes a difference, okay? Of course, but then there are the rich people, the rich Chinese, but we didn't share anything with them. It's a different world, so they want to share with us. So but we had the chance to visit China, to travel a lot in China and in Asia as well. So and that's why China really is my heart. It's something that it takes time to get into you, but once it's in you, and then it stays forever. I can say China is beautiful. There are beautiful things, but I mean, the first sight, Europe is more beautiful. Because of nature, because of cities. I mean,
it's a different landscape, like compared to
different landscape.
China.
But then you can find some jewels, and it's really, and and the charm is that it's different, totally different. It's nothing to do with us, and that's why it's so charming.
And how was your then compared to maybe to Paris? How was your daily life like?
Daily life was a lot of traveling.
Chinese.
Really?
Chinese.
Yes, we studied Chinese.
Okay.
So we could have a basic conversation or go to the restaurant or get a taxi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
It's hard to learn Chinese.
Very hard.
Yes, it's hard.
No, well, the basic Chinese is easy because grammar is very easy.
Okay.
There are no verbs are very easy. There are no tenses. It's only every present. It's
Yes, but it's so
but the
different.
difficulty is there is no hard.
You have to learn 3 languages in
Once.
once, because you have the speaking Chinese, you have the
written.
written and translating from characters to the
Wow.
pinyin. That it's our
Yes, a transcription from Chinese
Chinese
to
European
language.
Latin language.
So it's
Wow.
not easy at all. And but basic conversation, you might. I mean, and the Chinese, they really appreciate this.
Oh, okay.
When you went shopping,
Yeah.
and you start bargaining.
Especially in the countryside.
In the
'Cause
countryside.
in Shanghai, it's not necessary
You can
to
live.
speak Chinese.
So
Absolutely.
people
They
speak English,
Yes,
Not everybody.
Not.
yes, but almost.
Restaurants,
They understand you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You
But
can
in the
you can live
yes.
without Chinese.
but taxi driver, most of them they don't speak any
Yeah,
English.
it's true. Like when I went in
You need
China, you need
the
like
car,
a
yes,
car, like
exactly.
Your
where you
address.
want to go, like you want
Absolutely.
to go
Because
there.
anyway, they don't understand you. You can speak, you can learn and study Chinese for years, and then you try to speak with them
Chinese.
in the taxi with the taxi driver. It's impossible. They don't understand you. Your accent never can
I remember.
can
I
get.
yes. I remember once during it was New Year, the Chinese New Year. We had a dinner with all the people. There was three. I had 4 dinners because there were the headquarters, and then we had 3 plants, and so I had dinner with all of them. And then because I was the boss, then I remember I gave them the the red envelope, the home bao. I don't remember. But anyway, for the Chinese New Year, you give every employee an envelope with I don't know, 10 euros or something like this, so 100 yuan, and you say Xinyan Kuai Le, which means Happy New Year to everybody. So hundreds of people, and I remember at the 3rd year I tried to make a Chinese speech. And I remember all the people, they were laughing because I'm sure that I said something totally wrong or different.
Yeah.
But they really appreciated it.
Okay.
It's a language with 5 tones.
Yeah.
So it's also difficult
Yeah.
for us to speak with the right tone.
Yeah. So the same word can have totally different,
different.
meanings.
So
according
how do you
to
say in
line,
English? Like phonetic, something like that? The phonetic of the language? I don't know.
It's tones.
No, it's
No,
tones.
Tones. Okay.
it's tones because the same word, again, according to the tone, can have different meanings, and according to the position in the phrase, can have different meanings. So it's a headache.
It's complex.
Yeah, no, it's
So,
very fun.
but some people they do it. And by the way, Filippo spent a few months in the 4th year of high school. He went to China.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and
From
In
Luxembourg.
Chinese school.
no, from Italy.
From Italy.
In
Okay.
the Chinese high school.
Okay.
There were two
Two European,
Filippo and an American guy
Western guy.
in a school of 2,000 people.
Yeah.
And he went to Chinese classes, and I think it was in the middle of nowhere in China. And it
So
was not in
this
Shanghai.
when you
When we went back
left
to
China
Italy.
after
Yes.
how many years? 3,
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 years, yes.
4 years. You went back in Turin.
Turin, yes.
Okay, still at the same place that you were before.
Nope.
Not same
No,
house,
not
but same
not
town.
same house, same city.
Same city in Turin. Okay, and at that point, you were happy to be back in Italy.
Not really.
I was happy.
I was happy. I wasn't also because, to tell the truth, at work the things didn't go the way I expected. So
Okay.
and so I had to go back to Italy, and it was kind of stop. No, stop maybe is not the right word, but
A hard period.
hard period. Yes, I work in hard period. So that's why then we went back to Italy. So I wasn't happy because of this, and also because in China I was happy. So and then I changed my job. I changed company,
Okay.
and that's why I'm here. By the way, now in Luxembourg.
Okay. You're also like a director here, you say
Industrial director.
Industrial
Yes,
director.
Industrial
Oh.
director. So I look
Okay.
after plants in the, by the way, in the Asia and African Pacific area.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to go to China, and of course, because of the pandemic, I couldn't go there. But as soon as it will be available, I will go there. Yeah.
Okay. And
Just for travel.
I want to ask like question like to Elisabetta, being like in this case a mother, but also a wife. Is it challenging for you to change countries? Like, what is your perspective? It's like, okay, my husband is like,
It was very hard.
okay, and what was hard, but like you think that being in the same place could have like a different impact on your life, on your children. Like, I think my question is, what is the main challenge of being like let's say a mother that is always traveling?
It's a different answer because there are many level. There was me, so and my opinion, my ideas, my feelings, and my children's.
Yeah.
Okay, so but we had to manage both.
Yeah.
And some movings were harder than the others.
Yeah, like
Of
to
course.
to help you in this question is like when you talk with when you went back in Italy and you had like friends and everything, and you see
Yeah.
some of your friends with they're also mothers and everything, and you compare your life, it's totally different, right?
Yes,
The
it
challenges
was different.
of being a mother, it's
Yeah.
completely different.
Yes, it's different, but I think that in a certain way you can choose your life. And we had this kind of life for a lot of reasons. And I had to manage this kind of life with my children. And I don't know how to say, but sometimes I felt like it was quite difficult.
Yeah.
But maybe it could have been the same if I stayed in Italy. I mean, or in the same place.
I don't have experience, but
Yeah.
I think it's hard to raise three child, and then like it's challenging.
It's a challenge,
So
but yes, it's also something that we choose. So it was challenge, but also natural. I mean, because
no, but when you talk about it, like it's really good. Like you had a
Yeah.
nice life and everything, and but
Sounds easy, right?
yeah, it's like no, but really sounds really easy. It's like okay, we moved there, and then we went there, and then we went there. It was like wow.
yeah,
It's like
it's true that compared with some of other mothers that my friends that stayed all the time in the same place, our discussions can be quite different. I mean, they know that their children will stay maybe in the same place with them doing same thing like they did before. In my case, I don't know, because I raised the children that went in different places, and so
Your life was not boring, huh?
no, absolutely not. So they met different people. So how can I say where my children will be in 5 years or 10 years? Maybe everywhere in the world.
Because they're already not in Luxembourg, right?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Just
no.
Ludovica is temporary
Just
here.
For her
just
gap
for a while.
year, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like one is in Spain.
In Spain, yes, in Barcelona.
Okay.
And Filippo, after university, is now working in Milan.
Okay.
But living in Turin, and then we don't know the next. So we'll see.
Okay.
Anyway, it's their own choice. So it's
Okay. And he decided to move in Italy, like, because
yeah.
he studied in Italy.
When
He
you
did the
are
master.
expat, do you decide or someone else decide for you? This is also the question. Because normally we didn't really choose where to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Happens.
It happens. So you feel like you are totally free and you have a chance to travel, to go, but I'm not sure that you kept this chance.
Okay.
You don't decide every time.
Follow this.
You follow the flow.
stream,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it's,
Okay.
You go with the
you
flow.
you can choose not to follow the flow and then stay to stop and stay. This is the decision that you made.
Okay.
To make.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, no,
In my
it's,
opinion.
Yes, it's like this. We haven't decided to. I want to go to Paris. I want to go to China. I want to go to
No.
Luxembourg. No, it happened, and they say, okay, maybe it's good for me. But just to answer your, it was not a question. But you said it looks like it was easy. No,
No.
it isn't easy. It wasn't easy, but it's like, but it was good, and it is good. It's like climbing a mountain. I don't know if you climb mountains.
No,
We like mountains and hiking on mountains, climbing mountains. When you climb a mountain, it's difficult. It's hard. It takes a lot of energy and resources.
and if you fall, you lose, right?
And if you fall, you die. You die.
Sorry.
It's not you die, but it feels so good. So that's and a life, at least for me, it's my approach. A life that it is worth to be lived has to. I mean, I have to do something. I can't imagine that I do all my life, my entire life, the same thing in the same place, meeting the same people. I'm not saying it's bad, but
It's not what you want.
Good. It's not good for me.
Yeah.
And but then everybody makes, his own choice. So it's about choosing.
Okay. And do you think that Luxembourg will be your final destination? Who knows?
Who knows?
Let's follow the flow, bro. Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe, or maybe not.
And how is your life here? You like it here?
Yeah. I no, like Elisabetta said, my life is where my home and my family is. So now it's here. I like it. It's not Luxembourg. Sorry for my Luxembourg friends. It's not the most exciting place in the world.
Yeah.
It's for sure. But the life quality is very good. And no, it's good. I like it. And it's simple. Everything is simple. Everything works.
Yeah.
And nature is very, very. It's beautiful here. I mean, and we are in a city, but in 1 minute walking, you are in a forest.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And
it's true.
you can visit France or Netherlands or Germany, and no, it's good. It's not that far from Italy.
It's in the middle of Europe. Like
Yeah.
you can literally
No,
go everywhere.
It's okay. I mean, I like it, but I liked every place where I lived, so it's okay.
Okay.
But actually, something that I wanted to ask also, because whenever I hear my mom telling me this, but so mom, if you're watching, but
Thanks
no,
for
actually, like how is it now? Because so you went to Paris, Shanghai, everything all life long. You had your family, right? So you said, I mean, your wife and your kids, and for you, your husband, your kids, and now that you have your kids like scattered around Europe. Okay, Ludovica's here, but how do you feel about it? Like, I mean,
Yeah, we'll start to take like a different decisions right now, or
do you miss like the the routine of having all the three kids I don't know, running around the kitchen or whatever? It's like,
No.
or you're like, I'm fed up with kids, I'm fine.
That it's different because we are expat or not, because that happens also if you live all the time in the same place. Children have to go away.
Yeah, it is true that.
Mom, listen, please.
Yes. No, it is true that.
But how far away?
Yeah.
That's the question. Normally, if you live in Turin, other kids stay in the
around.
area that
You can meet every day if you want.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You have the idea that you can meet them every day. I don't. And this is not a nice feeling for me.
Okay.
But maybe it would be the same if
I don't know. I like to think.
Didn't live.
Yeah, I like to think, and I feel that our bonds are very tight, even if we, as you said, we are scattered around Europe. And for example, we during the lockdown 1 year ago, we had the opportunity, the chance that everybody came here in Luxembourg. We couldn't stay in Italy or where. So we spent a kind of long holiday. It was great because we were all together. And so it was a chance. I mean, during a challenging period for most of the people, for us was we
nice
had
period.
Nice period.
I've seen some videos, by the way.
Yes.
So to answer your question, yes, of course, I miss my kids. Of course, that's normal because because I love them. But still, I know that at least they're happy. So and again, because I think our bonds are very tight. Wherever they are, wherever they will be, we'll still have those tight bonds. Of course, quantity is also important. So I hope that they will meet it again and we will have the opportunity to make a journey together like we used to do. And but I don't know. Of course they left, and when they leave, but it's natural. I mean, it's just natural. Yeah. So and because we used to live abroad, it's natural for us that they are living somewhere else.
Usually for Italian people, it's not like this. Like the average age, I think that the kids leave the home in Italy is like 30.
Yeah, around 30.
It's like one of the highest in Europe.
Yes, we know.
I know it. I remember when I left my home in Genoa, I was 26. Because of university and then the army and I remember I felt old. I'm already 26. I'm still living with my parents, so it's really time to go. Yeah. And because I had the opportunity to live in Genoa, and because I found a very good job in Genoa. And I remember when I told my father and my friends that I was going to Turin and I was, refusing this offer in Genoa. He said, "Are you mad? Why are you doing this?"
Makes no sense for us.
It makes no sense.
Exactly.
And say yes because I want to, because I loved my parents, I loved my family.
But you also loved Elisabetta.
Yes, but I really wanted to feel free, and
independent.
And if you live with your family, yes, of course you have the advantages because you don't have to cook or something
to clean
like this.
your room,
but you're not.
everything.
I mean,
Gain a lot.
Thanks, mom.
You're not free. So for your moms, it's good they're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was cool. Should we go for some funny questions then?
Yeah.
I mean, it was too deep so far, so no, it was cool.
It's serious.
No, but it was really, really nice. Like, so, mom, yeah, I hope you're listening. No, we do 1-1.
Yeah.
I go first.
To whom?
You can just first Marco and then Elisabetta. Up to you.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. You're right. Sorry.
I take the number 8.
You take the number 8.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take. Okay. Let's start something easy. Favorite book ever. Okay, that wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. It was not an easy one.
I
If you don't have it, feel free to say.
yeah, I don't know.
IKEA manual, you know. Struggle with it.
Favorite song, favorite movie. I don't know. I cannot. I'm not
I don't read a
Okay.
lot
able
actually.
to answer.
So if you don't have a favorite book, but you have a favorite food.
Pasta.
Pasta
Fruits.
with, if you have to choose,
Everything. Vegetables.
vegetables. Okay.
Okay.
Also tomatoes. Yeah.
Okay.
Pasta al sugo.
Pasta al
Ah,
sugo.
easy. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Olio.
classic. Sì.
Yeah.
A crudo.
Yes.
For you, Marco,
Food or book?
if you have also book,
Book? No, because now I had the
time to think.
time to think.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how to translate in English. It's lo zen e l'arte della manutenzione della motocicletta. Maybe you can Pershing.
Is it in
In English, it was it's an
wait,
American
But we
writer.
We have it in
It's Pershing, I guess, the author.
what is his name again?
Lo zen e l'arte della manutenzione della motocicletta.
Zen e l'arte
Della manutenzione della motocicletta.
della
Puoi scrivere.
Ah no, okay, we don't have internet. Nice.
Nice.
Go look up for it
Yeah.
and translate. Okay.
And,
favorite food?
Food, yes, many of them, but yes, pasta with pesto.
Genova.
Genova. You know how to make it?
Sure.
Good one?
Good one.
Okay, so
Extremely
whenever
good
you
one.
want, feel free to
Very
invite
good.
us.
We will, of course.
Really? Like,
And since we are expats and many, people attending university, the Barilla Sugo
Yeah.
with pesto is
yeah,
like
it
how would
saved
you?
our life.
It
Like,
saved our life. But
Yes, we will do it.
since you're from Genoa, how would you rate it from 1 to 10? The
pesto.
the Barilla pesto.
One.
Minus of 15.
so
Nothing
good.
against Barilla. It's
I was
it's
expecting
great,
a 5.
It's
Yeah.
a great company, but no, it's just no. Forget it. Just
Like
It's
for me,
nothing-
so good, like so tasty. But
yes, but when you will taste my pesto, so you will change your
You'll change your life.
Okay.
you can go back once it's
So like for you, frozen pizza.
No,
could you eat frozen
Could you
pizza?
no,
It's the same.
Same.
no, never.
Same.
Yeah,
Okay, so
would you eat like a frozen polenta?
No.
or pizza with ananas, so it's a
No,
pineapple.
no,
So it's the same,
please
same.
don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Not
Don't do
say
this,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, please.
First app you open in the morning on your phone. What is the first app you open in the morning?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp? Okay. And you?
La Stampa. I reading the
You have the news?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
When I have my breakfast and then I read the
You just
news.
scroll through and you read the news and
Yes. Because nobody writes to me on WhatsApp. It's not
Okay,
like her.
so-
So it's no, but yes, news.
I do some similar because I use Twitter, and in Twitter basically it's like you have news all over. So especially if you follow some, pages, like you have, you can follow Bloomberg, you can follow the Times, and I mean the Guardian. So you get the news anyway. So I think it's like when I wake up in the morning, I want to know like what happened, even what happened last night or in US, because while you were sleeping, something happened. So, okay, this is funny. What is the stupidest thing you spend money on? Like one thing that you think, oh, that was really how I trash my money.
Cannot understand.
I'm from Genoa, so it's a very we never spend our money. No, I don't know. Let me think about this.
For example, I have to say, when I go to a club, disco, whenever you order a drink from there, it's like so overpriced that every time I'm thinking, why am I actually doing this, right? Because you have a bottle of wine which is worth 30 euros,
I know.
and there you pay like 300. I was like,
yeah, when you go clubbing and there is like the gin that it costs like 40 euros.
This, when really,
and then you pay
water.
200.
Bottle
of
water. Yeah.
Because spending money for bottle of water, just you.
Every time, not every time, because now I remember to bring my bottle with me, but sometimes I forgot or I can't, and so I
waste your money.
Yeah, because I don't like.
Anyway, so yes, I don't like.
But even here, like espresso, when you pay €2.50.
Yeah, but
like
that's a pleasure. That could be a pleasure in a nice cafe. So I know that I spend a lot of money compared to Italy, and maybe the coffee is not so good. But you are with someone or also alone. I like to stay in a coffee alone and
to indulge a bit.
Reading my favorite book. And I don't think about money in that case, but water, yes.
Bottled water is is a waste of money, a waste of everything, of resources, and it's good for anything.
Good point. Yep.
I think number 9, I like it. It's like the best colleague and team you have ever had. Yeah,
colleague or teammate, up to you. Because colleague, work-related teammate could be football teammate,
friend, or whatever.
Friend.
Oof, this is a best because I personally had because I used to play rugby when I was young, so I remember when I was in the under 19, it was a wonderful team. In Genoa, I really had a good time with them, and professionally, I had several. Probably the most the one I'm most attached to is the one I had when I was plant manager in Italy. And it was a very young team, and it was really good, really good. Yeah.
For you, Elisabetta?
I had a very good friend that it's also a colleague, and we started to work together some years ago. So I'm thinking about her. But also here in Luxembourg, I started to work with 2 women, and so yes, I think.
Actually, when you have your best friend that is also your colleague or vice versa, it's really it's really nice because you can be straightforward whenever something is not going well, and like in a couple at the end, it's like your teammates on a couple. So
personally, I have very good friends, but they have nothing to do with my work. So it's,
okay.
I try to keep them separate.
Okay, so you really don't hang out like with the colleagues, or you try to avoid?
Not really. It's not. I like it. It may happen that I could have a soiree or something like this, but good friends. It's something more deep. It's
okay.
It's
okay.
Something that you like to do, but you are terrible at.
Speaking languages. Yeah, I think so. Honestly.
So you speak Italian, English, French,
Chinese.
We can say that.
A bit of Chinese.
I completely forgot Chinese, but I spoke Chinese.
Back then?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you planning
I'm
to...
not good.
And so Luxembourg is on the line. Luxembourgish, sorry.
In the future.
Process. Next goal.
Next.
And for you, Marco, something that you're good at. Something that you like to do, but you're terrible at.
Playing piano. Because I would like, because I play guitar, but I also would like to play piano, but I can only play one song basically. And so I try, I show off, but I'm not good at all. But I would like to.
But you never studied piano.
No.
So
Okay.
But anyway,
you don't know.
what?
No, maybe you.
Maybe I would be good.
Yes.
Yes, but for timing, I'm not good.
Yeah.
So.
This I like it. If it wasn't what you're currently doing, what do you think would be your current position, like profession? Sorry.
Can you say it again?
If you weren't doing what you're doing now,
Yeah.
so now you're plan
I'm
director. or
industrial
whatever.
area manager.
Okay. If it wasn't that, like,
Yeah.
what would be what do you think could have been another profession you would be good at? Because at the end, in order to be here,
Maybe doctor.
doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Like, do you have a reason or
What?
why laughing?
I didn't know.
No, because
Surprise.
Discovering every day something new about.
I could have been a doctor or an architect. Yeah,
Architect.
architect.
Professional rugby player.
No,
No.
I'm not big enough. But no, I think yes, I could have been this. Then why I'm doing what I'm doing? It happened. So
Yeah, of course. It's like because just to give you an example, my daddy always said like a vet. You know, like
vet.
vet. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
veterinary.
Yeah, veterinary. Because he always loved to animals and pets. But there was like in his career was literally like a sliding door. So he happened to study something like agriculture at the end. But he also had this like.
Then, if you ask me what I would like to be, which is a different,
Okay.
is probably a musician
Okay.
or athlete. Yeah, but a very high level, like gold
Professional.
medal, something
Yeah, yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
And or a peasant.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I really would like to peasant.
Isn't
Contadino.
like a contadino, yeah.
Yeah.
And you, Elisabetta?
A doctor.
Really?
Yeah, a doctor.
You could be colleague.
Yes.
You would have ended up meeting each other anyway.
Yeah.
Or kind of manager.
Okay. In any particular business or?
I don't know. Not any particularly, but yes, a manager
Yeah.
and a teacher also.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
But just to be clear, I never thought about being doctor or architect. I mean, it's not like I really would have loved to do this. Never, because I never thought about this.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you ask me,
Well, you would
I
be
think
good.
I could be a good doctor or a good architect. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not saying if I could go back, I wouldn't study medicine or whatever. It's just,
Okay.
Yeah, it's just for,
Okay.
for fun.
Yeah.
for fun.
Like,
Good
I
point.
have
actually.
no regrets on what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
So it's
Okay. And so, if it wasn't in, let's say, around the 21st century, in which period would you like to be born? Historically, like speaking.
Come si dice? Moyen Age,
Man, medieval.
medieval.
Middle
Ah,
age.
Middle Age.
In the Middle Age.
Middle Age.
Yes, Middle Age.
Middle age.
And why?
Oh, because I like the way they dressed and the
Knights and everything. I
knights
think,
and
yeah.
yes, dragons or. No, I like it. I mean, it's of course being part of the upper class.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, I like it, and it's. I think it was a very interesting, living in Florence or in Italy in the Italy in the Renaissance.
In Italy, Renaissance. Yeah,
Yes, I think this would be.
would have been cool.
Yeah.
And you,
I
Elisabetta?
don't know. I don't want to be in the past. Maybe
Where I am
in
is-
the future.
In the future.
I would like, yes.
And
If I can choose.
3,000, bro.
if I can choose, I will choose the future.
Living on Mars or on the moon or something like this.
No. Just in the future, like
So okay, now we have like the very last question. I really like it. This maybe takes just a little bit more of effort, but so picture this: you can go to a restaurant, you can sit in a table of 4. So it's you, and you have to choose 3 other people, and they can be anyone from any time. Like it could be literally even I don't know, Marco Aurelio, or you can invite 3 people over. Who would they be?
That came out
immediately.
Barack Obama.
Okay.
Then I have to think for the others.
Okay, Barack, you can sit.
Barack.
We'll wait for
Please
the
take
others.
a chair.
Yeah, please take a chair.
Pasta pesto for you.
I think for me, it's Albert Einstein.
Okay.
Then Elizabeth I, Queen of England. And I think another lady, Maria Antonietta.
Okay.
Napoleon's wife.
Napoleon's wife,
Okay.
yeah.
But which number is Elisabeth today?
Second.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they had 200 years, like into like.
Well, we would be 2 guys and 2 ladies.
Okay.
Double
And-
date.
Well,
And,
maybe yes.
And why? Okay, Einstein. I like it because okay, my very first, the first time I replied to this question, I chose Galileo Galilei. Then it was Cesare, Giulio Cesare, and Hitler. But just because I'm fascinated by his. I don't know. It would be cool to see him like on a daily basis, like what he would. How he would eat, how he would react, talk
What
to
you
people.
do every day.
So Einstein, I like it because he's a great physician. So I think he would bring a lot of like
Smartest guy.
yeah,
ever,
exactly.
so.
Elizabeth first. What do you appreciate
Elizabeth,
about?
because she was a queen, a very
Okay.
powerful one, and just to see a woman that in the was 16th century had such a power, it's not as common. So to see how she was in reality and how she managed this, and Maria Antonietta because she was Napoleon's wife, and how a wife was such a big personality. But okay, if I had the second chance, by the way, second dinner, I would like to have
We
a
have a
dinner.
lot of people live.
To invite over.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Your table.
the Beatles. I would like
Okay.
to spend a
yeah.
dinner with the Beatles because I'm a huge fan of Beatles, and just to meet them, all of them, speak with them, and just to
Okay.
a kind of dream.
Okay. So you, Elisabetta, did you come up with?
Obama is waiting.
Obama.
We don't want to.
She likes Obama. So let's see.
He ran out of grissini, so it's time to.
I would like to speak about his life, his childhood, and his life like a president. Yes, and also the Pope. This one
Okay.
and
Francesco. no?
Francesco,
Francesco, yeah.
Francis, and then I don't know.
Actually, the Pope and Barack Obama, they know each other already, right? I think so. They met.
They met. Yes, they met.
No, I think they met.
They met.
Yeah.
So they are
Francesco.
already friends. So
Ah, Francesco, you two here.
a woman, maybe a woman in the past, maybe a writer or I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, the restaurant is full. There is not another spot. Okay.
And you, Flavio? We said already many times, but
Yeah, but I remember, like,
Share with
I
them.
remember that we both chosen like Hitler, but just because, it was crazy. But I think he was also a genius.
genius, yeah.
Yeah, to convince all those people like to do some what they've done. Yeah, let's say that. Then I think I've chosen like Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like the it's like for me it's freedom. like what you think about freedom, and be consistent with what you think. And then I was chosen like a singer that I liked, Chester Bennington. He was like the singer of Linkin Park, and he killed himself like a few years ago. But just because I grew up with his music, so I never been to his show, to a show of Linkin Park. So
my kids love Linkin Park.
And so let's say I would like to talk to him. It's like, but just not even for dinner, just for a coffee.
For a coffee.
Just say like thank you.
Enough.
It's just like thank you that you existed, and because like when you grow up, you have like many, let's say, difficulties and challenges, and with this music, was everything was easier.
Yes, it's true that if I remember well, Linkin Park's lyrics were not the happiest ones.
No, but
anxiety,
it's really, let's say,
depression.
heavy.
Yes, heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, but because there is a story between the guy, the band, and everything, and if you see most of the songs, they talk about, let's say, love of your life that you have lost for some reason.
Yeah.
Or the period that was really, let's say, Shibuya? Dark. Yeah. Where you were doing drugs or something, then now you're better. So yeah, I love them.
Okay.
And I think we can not ask, but let's say, what is like your advice to someone that is thinking to move abroad?
Or maybe even what you would have said to your younger self,
Yeah.
like a suggestion that you had said to
Maybe to move abroad before, or like, I don't know, something.
That's a good question because,
Next time start with this one.
it's giving suggestions to someone else is always a very difficult exercise. I would say do it. Don't overthink about it and do it. And then, especially if you're young, always, the time, the possibility to get back to start over again. So it's, do it. Don't be afraid.
Even if things goes bad, I think you will not regret it.
I do not regret, no, and because also we have to say that we are expats. We are not migrants, so it's totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Because we choose to leave, we were not forced to leave.
Yeah.
So if you have the privilege to make a choice, make the choice, and do it. Because whatever will happen, it will be good for you because you will see different things, you will meet different people, you will face difficulties and challenges, and that's important. And your life will be richer. Yeah. Then so do it. Do not overthink about consequences, or do not overthink about what you leave, but think about what you can meet.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing this. Yeah, it's really important.
Cool.
Like
can close it.
Huh?
A chiusa.
Not like it's our it's our first episode. It's like we're really happy that you're both here, and thanks.
It was
a
really
lot.
cool.
Thank you very much for inviting us. It was great also to
to share
our mind out. So great.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like it's first one.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.